the latest on the realignment front, as of now, very, very key phrase there, as of now, is that it does not look like Clemson and Florida State are getting out of the ACC to be somewhere else for the 2025-2026 season. That is per Pete Thamel, as well as a number of other sources. Why? Because everybody's suing each other. Florida State's suing the ACC, Clemson's suing the ACC is suing them both back. And so it's this big thing where you're like, all right, get out the pens and get out all the attorneys and whatnot, and let's try and find a way to sort through some paperwork. Jim Phillips, the commissioner of the ACC, had a fiery few minutes at the podium basically saying, we're going to fight for this conference, kind of talking his cash a little bit, and we appreciate that. It's the right thing to say. But here's the deal, man. We know where this is all going. We do. Tell me what you want. Tell me the year. Tell me all the grant of rights is too difficult to get out of. The television deal is too ironclad, this, that, and the other. And it's like, we know what's happening here. We've seen this a million different times in our own circles, in our own social life. You know that couple that argues all the time. They're going to break up. It's going to happen. It's how this thing works. Very, very few times have I seen anybody sue each other both ways. A lawsuit from one side to the other and the other side suing the other side and it end in a peaceful, yeah, you know what, actually, we do want to be in the ACC. That's right. And you can say you're fighting for the conference. I believe that Jim Phillips means that wholeheartedly. But again, you can say the right things and you can do X, Y, and Z on the external side of things, but it's a matter of when, not a matter of if Clemson and Florida State leave the ACC. Now, again, we're being told, hey, it's not happening for a long time. You can't get out of this deal. It's too ironclad. And that's the other thing that I really hate about conference realignment. Like, I'll be honest, I think conference realignment is one of the wackest parts of college sports for a number of reasons, but probably one of the leading reasons for me is what it does to us as college football fans. And what I mean by that is it invites a specific pinkies up vibe that we really have never been accustomed to when it comes to talking about this sport exclusively. Like, there is a lot of people that all of a sudden, when you hear the buzz phrase conference realignment, they just become experts. Like, you would have think they turned into Mike Ross or Harvey Specter talking about every single legal aspect of the grant of rights and how it's impossible for them to get out of the ACC. And it's not just like an informative take. It's a lot of like talking down. It's a lot of, you wouldn't understand the iron. It's the grant of rights. There's no way they can get out of it. Like, it's okay you don't get it, but like I do because I read a few Wikipedia articles. Like, it divides us, and I don't like that. The other part of this is I just hate that it's not about college football. It's very convenient how this always happens right before week 0. You'll notice now, late summer, we get some realignment news, media days get some realignment news, and they just kind of sneak that in there before our attention is then taken by the games. And I'll be honest, I am so grateful to talk about this sport for a living, but I talk about the sport because I love this sport, not because I love realignment. I can count on 0 fingers how many times I've woken up on a Saturday as a player, putting on my helmet or sitting down for college game day and been like, man, I wonder what's going on with the realignment world right now. No, nobody ever thinks that. Realignment is something that folks from the business world or the legal world or the folks that wear a suit and tie to work, the Peter Millar culture, they're big on realignment, not us as college football fans. So it's kind of like going to the dentist. Like, if it is forced upon me and I absolutely have to talk about it, we absolutely have to address it, we'll sit in that chair and be tortured for the better part of like an hour. But this is not anything anybody actually is super invested in when it comes to the college football world. So it is what it is. I'm not a fan of it. I also don't love the way that it's tinkered with the fabric of our sport. Like, I grew up on the Pac-12, on the Pac-10, watching Oregon and Stanford, watching Cal and USC. Like, those were matchups I enjoyed as a kid. And now, thanks to realignment, those are look a little bit different. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Realignment, not something I enjoy. That's the news we have right now is Clemson and Florida State. They're not leaving anytime soon. I said this before, I'll say it again. I would treat realignment the same way I would treat attending a murder mystery party. Head on a swivel, trust nobody. We could see some news break. It wouldn't surprise me if in a month or in a few weeks they say, actually, Clemson and Florida State, they're leaving to insert whatever conference you want next. So the narrative is controlled. It is what it is. Not a fan of realignment, but nonetheless, college football season is almost here. Hey y'all, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.